Hello students, last time we saw how iron, surplus food and trade gave rise to cities. I also hinted that cities cannot survive on trade alone. They need something more, a strong system of governance. Cities are not just about trade and crafts. To run smoothly, they need police, hospital, sanitation, etc. Now, here is the question. Can one person provide all of this? No, you need a system that can make laws, a system that can appoint judges, police, doctors and teachers. And yes, you need money to pay for their salaries. This is why cities need a state. This is exactly what happened in the second urbanization as well. We will look at the rise of states, that is Janapadas and Mahājanapadas. Strong states arose during this period. At first, there were small states called Janapadas. The word comes from two parts. One, Jan, meaning people, and Pad, meaning foot. So, Janpad referred to the land where a group of people set foot and settled. But gradually, some Janpads joined together. They became bigger and stronger. These larger states were called Mahājanapadas, literally meaning great Janpad. Now, let's step back for a moment. Do you remember the Indus Valley civilization? We know that they were also ruled by strong states. How? Because we see planned cities like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro. We see big granaries, planned streets, well-connected drainage systems, trade and seals. All of this shows that there was some kind of state. But we don't know the names of their kings. We don't know the names of their states. We don't even know how exactly they ruled. Why? This brings us to the sources. If you remember, we have not understood their writing system yet. So for understanding Indus Valley civilization, we completely rely on archaeological sources. Now compare this with the second urbanization. This time, we have more than just archaeology. We have literary sources. There are mainly three literary sources for this period. First, later Vedic literature. Second, Buddhist texts. And third, Jain texts. And what's exciting? These texts actually gives us names. They mention Janapadas and Mahājanapadas. They even tell us about the kings, about the assemblies, and about how these states ruled. Now, we will discuss the 16 Mahājanapadas. The literary sources say that by the end of 6th century BC, there were 16 Mahājanapadas. Look at this map. Do you notice that most of the Mahājanapadas were concentrated in the Ganga river basin? Why? That's where agriculture was strongest, surplus was largest, and trade was growing fastest. Naturally, that became the heart of political power. Let us now discuss the functioning of Janapadas. How did these early states rule? In the Janapadas, power was not just with the king. There were assemblies like the Sabha, the Samiti. These assemblies were made of group of elders. They met, discussed important matters, and gave advice to the king. In fact, many of the major decisions were taken in these assemblies. So, the early states had more collective style of decision making. We have seen Janapadas. Let's now move to the functioning of Mahājanapadas. As the Janapadas grew into Mahājanapadas, many became monarchies. The king's position was now hereditary, usually passed from father to son. The king became very powerful and did not depend much on the assemblies anymore. Instead, he worked with the ministers, whom he appointed himself. But what else made these monarchies so strong? They had armies, soldiers to defend their land, and also to fight wars with the neighboring states. They also built fortified capitals. These cities had high walls with moats. The moat was a long, wide channel dug around the high wall and filled with water. It made enemies' attack very difficult. The cities had a narrow gateway so that the guard could carefully control who entered and who left. The most powerful monarchies of this period were Magadh in modern-day Bihar, Kosal in modern-day Uttar Pradesh, Vats in modern-day Madhya Pradesh, and Avanti in central India. However, not all Mahājanapadas were monarchies. Some, like Vajji, Malla, continued with their strong assemblies. These assemblies could even elect a king, and if he was not good, remove him. This is why these states were called Gan or a Sangh. Historians often describe them as early republics because, unlike monarchy, here the king's power was limited. He had to listen to the assembly. Now, let us see what was going on in southern India. Until now, we have been talking about North India only, but by around 400 BCE, urban centers also began to appear in the southern part of Indian subcontinent. In the Kalinga region, which is modern-day Odisha, cities like Shishupalgarh had broad streets and strong fortifications. You can see them in the picture. Further south, three great kingdoms emerged: the Chol, Chera, and the Pandyas. These southern kingdoms became famous for their resources, gold, gems, and spices, and also for their trade, not only within India but also countries overseas. So, let's bring it all together. The second urbanization, you remember, began in the fertile Ganga plains thanks to the use of iron tools. Surplus food led to trade, coins, writings, and new occupations. And to protect and organize these cities, states arose. First, the Janapadas, and later the 16 Mahājanapadas. Most Mahājanapadas became monarchies with kings, armies, and fortified capitals. However, some remained republic ruled by assemblies like Vajji and Malla. And by 400 BCE, urban life had spread beyond the Ganga plains, all the way to southern India, with the Chola, Chera, and Pandyas. Now, I am leaving you with a question. These Mahājanapadas, monarchies or republics, living side by side, how did they deal with each other? Did they form alliance or did they go to war? This is what you will discover in upcoming chapters. Thank you.